Hello everyone, and welcome to Caretaker's Corner, where we discuss topics concerning caring for elderly parents, disabled spouses, and special need adult children. My name is CJ, and I thank you for joining me for today's topic. And it's around organization, and today it's specifically around things like meal prep or putting the medicine together. Now, in my household, we've discovered that one of the easiest ways to save time and energy is simply by prepping our meals in advance. And you'd be surprised how much time this actually saves. I have to get up at like 2:30 in the morning. So for me to be able to make Barbara breakfast, I have to do it all in advance. So I put everything together on Sunday and I have them in separate containers, kind of like this. And we write all over these things. It comes right off when you wash them with Dawn, or you can use a little alcohol to scrub it off with. And that way, all I gotta do is throw some eggs in a biscuit, some gravy, sausage, hash browns on the plate, pop it in the microwave, put a drink together, and I have that ready for her. I usually don't get home till late, so if Robin and Melissa, who are my two best friends that help out all the time, haven't fed her by the time I get home, then I usually have something quick and easy that I can provide. Now in my household, this is a big production because I have severe food allergies. So we have to take a lot of extra care when it comes to food prep, both for my food needs and for Barbara's and Robin and Melissa's. Robin, Melissa, and Barbara are not allergic to meat, and I'm allergic to meat and all meat products. So we have containers all over the place. We have green utensils for plant-based stuff, red utensils for meat products. We have two of everything in the house, so that way nothing gets messed up. So like when we go to make soups and stuff, we'll make a lot of soup, put it in the container, and put it in the freezer. That way you just got to take it out and pop it in the microwave, put it in a bowl, and be able to serve it to her. It saves so much time. It takes a lot of time out of your weekend schedule because you have to do it. Like I do the breakfast prep on Sundays. So I get up, I make everybody breakfast, and then I just make sure to make extra so that way I have that set aside for the week. So I'll get up whatever time I get up at. Usually it's about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'll do the breakfast cooking, and then after that I'll do my lunch, and like I cook tofu and stuff like that to take with my lunch, and I'll go ahead and do all that also. That way I've got it all done. Now like I said, we put them in either those little containers I was showing you, or you can get and by the way, you can get these at Sam's Club and Costco and everywhere. They're fairly cheap, and if it breaks you just throw it away. And that's another big thing, is cost when it comes to caretaking, because some of the medical equipment alone can get expensive. More or less, if you really need to go to an extreme and pay someone to come in and set for you so that you can go out and get a day off, you know. It's just one of those things that it really does help to save time. And time is a very important concept for a caretaker. It's what we're trying to get more of. We want to provide the best care, but we really, really just need the time. And that's what we're trying to buy back, is time. And by spending just a little bit of time on a Sunday, you can save a lot of time during the week, because it takes about 30 minutes to make a meal. I mean, from scratch, if you're lucky. Whereas microwaving a meal takes about 5 minutes maximum, sometimes 10 if you get like a Bertolli meal or something like that. Now, like I said, in my house, we tend to do a lot of stuff from scratch, and that's why we freeze it and make it in bulk. But now, if you can't do that, you don't have the time to do that, microwavable meals are okay. They've got a lot that are very healthy now, and legitimately healthy, not just say they're healthy on the box. And it's still a legitimate thing to do, is to microwave a meal. If you come home after working 12 hours, cooking a meal is very difficult on you. It is not top of your list. Crashing is, but not cooking. So while I try my hardest to make sure to provide healthy meals, sometimes you just got to throw something in the microwave and call it a day. Now, the other thing I do that helps save a lot of time is once every 2 weeks, I put Barb's medicine together. She's got a lot of medicine. I don't know, some like 20 some medicines, and she takes medicine 4 times a day. So about every 2 weeks, I sit down and I take a couple of, well, it doesn't take a couple of hours. It takes about 30 minutes, I guess, and put her medicine together. And it's morning, noon, afternoon, and night. And she doesn't take all of them at the same time, or, you know, the same amount. And she was doing it and had a little issue where she got a little confused and apparently forgot to put some medicine in them. So that's when I started doing it. And it's just easier to do it once every couple of weeks. It's also a way of me being able to keep up with when her prescriptions need to be refilled, when they might be getting low, when we got to contact a doctor. I have a whiteboard on the refrigerator that I use to, I write down when all the prescriptions are ready so that I can just look at it and go, okay, hey, we got to do this. There's a lot of apps out there that can help, but then you got to open the app and look at the app. And I'm not very good unless it's got a little red number on my phone to do that. So I have a whiteboard that I've got all that listed on. And then kind of like my little side check is when it needs to be refilled. I set it down on my counter so I know to tell Barbara she needs to check her refills. And then Kroger's actually usually pretty good about sending a text message when they get it done. And that helps out a lot. I realize that organization is something that a lot of people find hard, and so is time management. And the thing with doing the food prep and the medicine is that you have to be very schedule oriented and really good at time management. And that goes back to the setting the boundaries. You've got to make sure everybody understands that on Saturdays or Sundays, whatever day you choose. For me, it's Sundays mostly. This is what I'm doing on Sundays. This is what I do every Sunday. Every Sunday, I do the laundry. I do food prep. I spend some time with my spouse. I'm now doing these videos, and I'm very specific about that. And like my mom, whom I love, I had to actually go, hey, Mom, this is what I do on Sundays. I try not to veer from that schedule at all, unless it's something very, very, like an emergency or a family event that is out of the ordinary, like a holiday. Even if I work, even if I have to work on a Sunday, then I will come home and do all of that after work, just to make sure that it stays solid for the week. Because my schedule, when I wake up, if I wake up on time, which I try to do, but on the occasions when I don't, there's no time to cook a breakfast. And we were doing some microwavable breakfasts, but they're really expensive. A microwavable sandwich is like, a box of 4 was like $10, and I can make the dang things for less than that. So I just started making the meals, and it's just easy to do a meal prep and have it all set out. You can do it where you set it out during the, like for the breakfast, I have all the eggs in one container and all the hash browns in another. But at one point I had these little dishes that had 3 spots in it, and I had everything on that. So I just put that in there and then handed it to her. which is another option, especially for dinners where you have like, you tend to have different stuff. Now we do have microwavable meals here, that, you know, store-bought microwavable meals that we can use, and they are very convenient if we don't have anything that she wants. Now, I know especially like with a lot of disabled individuals, especially like when my mother-in-law was going through chemotherapy, we had a big issue where she just didn't like anything. And what she'd like one day, she didn't like the next day. And it wasn't her fault. It was the chemotherapy was just messing with her, well, one, with her mind, and two, with her taste buds. So that created a large issue when it came to trying to plan dinner or anything, because you never knew what she was going to be able to eat. And if you have someone that is that that has those issues, the easiest thing I can say is just keep a variety of microwavable meals that are not that expensive, so that way they have a variety of what to choose from, because they don't know, they themselves don't know from one day to the next what they want. And when you have an extreme situation like that, it's really hard to plan for all contingencies. I know, like, I'm fairly safe with my family that I'm responsible for. My dad eats absolutely crap food, and he likes it, and he will never change, and he will not listen to me or his doctors about that. So I know that he's going to eat bad food, and that's what he's going to like.